And we're live. Oh, there we go. The victory cigar.
Oh, I'm going to smoke the hell out of this tonight. Oh, my goodness. Guys, what's better? 4-2 or 4-6? Let's not get into that. Shut up,
the same. It's not relevant, but go on.
Come on. Reece would agree with me on this one. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, especially good night, especially after tonight's game. You are now locked in onto the point with
Skip
and the King. You guys know what to do. Go down there, click subscribe. Leave a like, leave a comment. We love hearing all of your stuff. We love you guys enjoying our fantastic guests, especially the coach from the East Coast, Mr. Tim Roache, aka Nick Nurse's doppelganger. You gotta pull that fake clay and hop on the court at some point, bro.
I'm clean shaven now, man.
Yeah. He doesn't quite have the look right now. He's got the
get it back. And then we also have the mouth of the North, the one and only, Mr. Andrew Reece from the Reece Report. My man, known him for a couple decades now. My dude, that's where I go to look for my sports in the morning. Okay? How you guys doing? Let's get into this quick. How you guys doing? You guys good?
Good.
Doing good. Fine, yeah. Basketball
cool.
season is over officially. As of right now.
The basketball season is over and
Steph got his finals MVP.
Yes, the final piece of the puzzle.
Finally. Y'all ever smoke cigars that get stuck to your tongue and stuff like that? Anyway, guys, let's dive right into this. Coach, I want to start with you first. I wanted to ask you, based on what you've seen tonight with the Golden State Warriors and the Boston Celtics in Game 6, and the Warriors capping off, I guess you could say it's pretty much a dynasty, pretty much a legacy, pretty much something like that. But from a coach's standpoint, a fellow coach's standpoint, we saw a lot of interaction back and forth with some of the players. Golden State did do well. They did have some bright spots. And Boston, yeah, I know Skip loves that they lost, even though he did pick them to win. They were lacking. And what did you see from all of this? From the players, if you as a coach.
Mm-hmm. I saw a lot of turnovers tonight on Boston's end. That's something that it really hurt them, especially in transition. But there were a couple of plays tonight that really stood out to me, which I just found they have to capitalize on them. One was at the end of the second quarter. Marcus Smart had the ball. He passed to Jaylen Brown on the wing. Al Horford's posting up Steph Curry, and Robert Williams is posting up Gary Payton Jr. on the block. He's in the dunker spot. They didn't get the ball inside at all, and they didn't take advantage of those mismatches. There was another opportunity as well. I believe it came in the fourth quarter. Al Horford, he's posting up Steph Curry. He gets the ball, and then he kicks it out to Tatum in the corner for three. Tatum misses it. That's just a couple of opportunities there where Steph could have had a couple of fouls. He could have got a couple more points. Steph gets a couple of fouls. That could change change the outcome of the game depending on how many fouls he may have at that point. Yeah. So just a couple of easy things that Boston could have done, but they didn't do. That's just a few things that stood out to me tonight. The turnovers and just they didn't capitalize on the mismatches. And you have to capitalize on those things, especially in the Game 6 in the finals.
Yeah, and with that 21-0 run that Golden State went on, that was pretty remarkable.
Well, that changed the whole game. That completely made that. Yeah.
That did. Yeah. Mr. Andrew Reece, mouth of the North, my man, my boy, my dude, for years. From your standpoint, how did you feel about tonight's game? Because on that group chat, we all got pretty emotional.
Well, I I noticed a few things. One, the Warriors' defense was outstanding. The reason why Boston was so hesitant inside and even taking shots is that the Warriors' hands were so good. Even Stephen Curry was stripping the ball like crazy today. Andrew Wiggins, who will not get much of the pub, it'll be Steph Curry and well-deserved, but Andrew Wiggins was unbelievable this entire series. The guy who was dumped by LeBron like a piece of trash went to Golden State, replaced Kevin Durant, and helped them win a championship. And I feel so great for him. He was ridiculed by more than just LeBron. Even Jimmy Butler had an issue with him. He got on the right team with the right teammates, and he was awesome. He made big threes when the Boston was making the comeback. And then I don't know what Boston was thinking defensively, but in the fourth quarter, when it looked like Golden State was struggling a little bit, they left Curry at the top of the key one-on-one with Al Horford. I don't know what they were thinking. You got to get the ball out of his hands, and you've got to trap him.
He was going after them for that possession. I remember that one.
Yeah, you got to trap him. You can't let him blow by their big guys, especially with Robert Williams off the floor, and get easy layups. That's what kept Golden State's lead ahead. And when they did trap him, they found the right man, usually Andrew Wiggins in the corner for a three. I also want to point out Draymond Green had his best game of the series. He was all over the court, grabbing rebounds, blocking shots, making great passes. He was great today. Yeah. And then Jordan Poole pitched in, but like Boston's turnovers and execution on defense and offense was terrible. And a lot of people are going to say they were given the series, but I think Golden State earned this with their great defense and smart offense.
Now, overall, with this whole series, Skip, I want to ask you, how did you feel about this whole series that we've seen, just the last 6 games of the NBA season? Because I gotta give you the screws, bro. Coach and I did say Golden State in 7, but you said Boston in 7. So Coach and I are looking pretty good right now. What did you think of this series overall, my friend?
Well, I got some egg on my face. I don't have an egg to smash on my face right now, but yeah, I didn't believe in the Warriors. I thought they were basically done. I thought they were still a solid team, like still not like that once they got their guys back, they could still do some things. I didn't think they were the Warriors, like the capital W Warriors, the dynasty Warriors. And they showed me in this series, they're still the Splash Brothers. They're still these guys who can come out and just eviscerate you when they have their pieces in place, and everyone's playing their role. They're absolutely a terror to deal with, just like they were 4 years ago, just like they were 7 years ago. These guys are all a little bit older. They're probably not going to have, I still don't think they're going to have that much more of a runway going forward. I think this was kind of the capper on their dynasty, so to speak. But
legacy, like we said.
Legacy. They absolutely showed that they could still get it done. And I think what we saw in this series is the difference between a team that wanted to win and a team that expected to win. Because I think the thing, especially in this game, I saw, you heard the commentators saying Boston's flailing away. Boston's trying to get something done. Golden State, they didn't have to flail. They didn't have to try. They just knew they had to do their thing. They've been there before. They were going to come at you. It's that old thing, like, come at the king, you best not miss, right? And, like, they don't have King James on their team, but they are the kings of the league. They are the reigning dynasty right now. And it's like, if you're going to come at them, you have to bring your A game. You can't expect them to screw up. You can't expect to capitalize on their mistakes. They're going to get it done, and it's on you to go out and beat them. And Boston didn't show up and with the energy to beat them. All right, go off.
Come at the king. Come at the king.
Yeah. Go off.
Okay? I'm going to say this. Okay. I've spoken to you guys, and I did say, if Clay can step up, it's over. It's a wrap. We all know what Steph could do. Draymond stepped up. Okay? Jason Tatum, he's been a freaking ghost.
Oh, he was terrible in the series. He was terrible in the series. Yeah.
He's been a ghost. It's like Kobe
not ready for the moment.
Turning in his grave.
Hey,
so not ready for the moment.
Grave right now, looking at him. Wait, hold on. Then there are multiple things right here. Okay, Adaku. Okay, the coach for the Boston Celtics. Yes, a pupil of Greg Popovich. So you know he knows, right? You have Steve Kerr, who had how many rings with the Chicago Bulls? Reece, real quick, how many?
4 with the Bulls, 1 with the Spurs.
Thank you. And then how many with Golden State?
Now 4. Now 4.
Thank you. Okay, so these are
one short of a full deck.
Yeah, pretty much. But he has proven himself, and it was great to see the coaching duel. But I was disappointed in tonight's game when it came down to the coaching duel and seeing the disappearance of Jason Tatum. Like, let's be honest. Let's be real here. Steph wasn't really Steph tonight. Clay wasn't really Clay tonight.
Steph did his thing.
I disagree with Steph. Steph was awesome tonight.
Steph did his thing.
Steph's always good, but he wasn't Steph, right? Jordan Poole, you can't have Splash Brothers if they're not getting into a pool, okay? And then not to mention, kudos to that guy, Andrew Wiggins, a fellow Canadian, a fellow Torontonian, getting a championship, one of these, right? You know what I mean? I really appreciated it. I enjoyed the game. Like, dude, I was yelling at my TV. My mom had told me to shut the F up a couple times just because I was going off. But I think it was really great. Coach, you had something to say before I ask my next question.
Just a little bit what Andrew had said earlier about Andrew Wiggins. I mean,
okay.
Andrew Wiggins was Scottie Pippen in this series. That's the best way that I could put it. Like, if Steph was Jordan, he was Scottie Pippen. He was guarding the best player in the last 2 or 3 series. He was guarding Luka last series. He was switching off on Ja Morant in the series before that. And in this series, he was guarding Tatum. And I just so pleased with him, with all that he's been through. And
I think,
like,
what?
Now that brings me to my next question. I
was going to get into the Wiggins thing.
Yeah, so was I. Yeah.
Well, you could save that for this part. Okay. My next question is to you guys. Over the playoffs in general that we have seen, we have noticed a shift. We've gotten away from the LeBrons and all that, Harden and all that crap. Now we're seeing players like you just said, Coach Roache, Luka's, Ja Morant. We've seen Devin Booker's shine. We've seen Jason Tatum's. We've seen Marcus Smart shine. We've seen Giannis do his thing. We've seen a lot of players. Now, in general, guys, give me your players. You can talk about them, including Andrew Wiggins, okay? Based on these NBA playoffs, how do you see the league going forward with these guys?
Well, I just wanted to say, because Coach brought up a good point there, and this is also on what Skip said. I don't think this is a coaching issue. Udoka did a great job. If you listen to him after each game, during his interviews, even during the game, he knew exactly what the Warriors were going to do. The problem is that the moment was too big for them, and they couldn't stop the Warriors. Like, even during the halftime today, when he said, we know how they're going to play, we know what we're going to do, this is what we have to do. But Boston could not do anything about it. The Warriors were too good.
Twice in like
3 times. When the 22-0 run, they called 3 timeouts. And they finally went on a 7-0 run.
At the beginning of the third quarter, I'm talking about.
Yes. The first timeout in the second half was about 30 seconds in.
And Jason, you just tell the moment was too big for them. Jason Tatum was completely stymied by Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins was blocking his shots. He was stripping the ball off of him. He was just in his head. And Tatum was awful for most of the series. He only had 2 points and 5 turnovers in the second half. You're not going to win when your supposed best player is playing that bad. I mean, Al Horford kept them in the game. Otherwise, it would have been a blowout a lot sooner.
That's true.
Yeah.
Al Horford went off, but I mean, he was all by himself. He was on an island.
And Steph was unbelievable tonight. Like, what I liked about Steph, and I disagree with you, Brian, on this, is he didn't just settle for threes. He played within the offense, and when he took what the defense gave him, which is something Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan did great. They when they were on their games, they took what the defense gave them. They didn't force anything. Yep. And Steph, when he saw a big guy on him, he drove the lane, made the layup. When he had a double screen, he would stop for the three.
Every time Horford was on him, he didn't settle for a three. He went right to the lane. I loved it. I love that.
I thought he was incredibly efficient today and did exactly what he had to do to win that game on the road.
Now, guys, back to my question. Yeah. The future of the league.
Well,
judging on these playoffs, where do you guys see this going? Do you see maybe Golden State being the elder statesman?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
No, I actually don't. But go ahead, Skip.
I was about to say, I think taking any big, grandiose impressions about the future of the league from this series is probably a little misguided, because the Golden State Warriors are the old guard. They're the previous generation coming back for one last title. Maybe not one last title, but they're sort of looking backwards more than looking forwards in general. I do think
they're getting old.
They're getting old little bit.
Don't talk about old people like that.
They're getting old. But I mean, my point is the 3-point. I mean, and the Warriors do play this way, obviously, as well, with Gary Payton Jr., with Andrew Wiggins. But the future of the league is going to be two-way players, just in general. I think just a big focus on defense. And in that sense, you can go back to the series and say, well, these are two of the best defensive teams in the league. So that does reflect on the series. But I think this focusing too much on Golden State's threes is looking too much to the past. Anyway, Tim, jump in on that.
I don't think Golden State's done. I still think they got 3 to 5 years, maybe even more. And I'm saying this because Jonathan Kuminga is like 19 years old. He's going to be really good. James Wiseman's 22. He didn't even play this year. He's a 7-foot center, super athlete. He didn't even play. I just hope that he's able to play next year. Moses Moody. I think they get a good talent, and Jordan Poole coming. They have a new generation of stars being built in Golden State. They are going to be set up to for the next 5 to 7 years.
Maybe compete.
Jordan Poole, Kuminga.
Compete, yes, sure. But are they going to be in position to be here?
Well, think about this.
Holding Larry O'Brien. That's what I'm talking about.
Clay was nowhere near top of the line Clay, and they still won the championship. Clay's only going to get better.
I don't agree with that. I think Clay's past his prime. But
okay, he's past his prime, but he was nowhere near his best this year, and they still won. And they had young guys that didn't even play who are actually really good players. So they still have options in free agency. They still have draft picks. Jordan Poole, they're going to have to sign, which could cost them a lot. But like they have a good mix of young and old. They're not the Bulls. The Bulls were old. Their entire team was old.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that
Wiggins is still young too.
I'm not saying that they're going to be a lottery team next year or anything. I'm saying the end of this dynasty. That's different. Like you can come along and be a competitor. Like the Raptors are a competitive team right now. They're not the same team they were 3 years ago.
Wait, hold on.
Golden State can still win the next 2 years, I think. I think they got 2 more years of possibilities. 2 more years.
Yeah. I'll give you 2 more years.
Shut up, dude. Skip. No, are you kidding me? Golden State still has a lot of gas left in the tank. And we all know nowadays how much gas costs. They got a lot left in the tank.
I just don't know about Clay and Draymond. I think Steph will be around for a while.
Well, Steph's in his 13th season?
He's like 33 or something.
Curry is 34 years old, but the further development of Jordan Poole, Kuminga, Moody, Wiseman, who is a number 2 overall pick, that can certainly help them get even better next year. You got to remember, a lot of these players didn't even play, and Clay was at 50%. They still won. So, man, I mean, I think they still have at least a couple of years of prime Steph where they can be a championship contender. There's a lot of question marks in the West. I don't believe in the Lakers. The Suns, do you want to talk about a guy getting old? Chris Paul's 37, and they can't win without him. So then you have the Denver Nuggets, who are a big question mark.
But we saw
the Clippers. The Clippers are going to get all their players back, so there'll be a factor. Utah's done. They're looking to get rid of Mitchell. So
the Suns, I think the Suns will be back.
We saw what Dallas did today with that trade.
Yeah, Dallas got Christian Wood, so that they can still win the West at least for another couple of years. Outside of maybe Dallas or Phoenix upsetting them, they got a chance. I mean, they're not going anywhere for at least a couple of years, in my opinion.
Yeah, maybe not tomorrow. This felt like such a big redemption arc tonight. Like, it goes right back to the Raptors series, right? Because we all said the Raptors ended Golden State's dynasty, and that was 3 years ago. And you're looking at the rings, like 2015, 2017, 2018, I think it was. And then there's a big gap to 2022 right there.
Yeah. I didn't think they were done when Toronto beat them. I never thought they were done. You have talked about this.
Yeah.
I actually told you.
2 years ago, Golden State was at the bottom of the league.
Yeah. We did a show. We did a show before the season started, and I said to Skip, watch out for the Warriors. They're going to be a factor this year. Now, did I say they were going to win the championship? No, but they did win. They did win the championship. The team to worry about in the West, in my opinion, is Memphis. Memphis is the team that can knock them off and give them a lot of trouble if they have a healthy Morant and the rest of their team is healthy. That's the team I'd worry about.
I also think Phoenix, like, they screwed up this year, but they're really good. Like
Skip, are you gonna beat that? Are you gonna beat that horse really dead? Because
they blew it. So they blew it 1 year. They blew it 1 year. Like, they'll be back next year. Yes, Chris Paul will be a year older. Yes, the DeAndre Ayton situation is unsettled. They're still going to be a really good team.
I think the Clippers next year.
The Clippers are going to be a major factor if they have a healthy Paul George and Kawhi Leonard with all the pieces they have. They're good. To me, Memphis Clippers and the Warriors are the top three teams next year.
Is Kawhi ever going to be healthy again?
I think so. I think he'll be healthy. Yeah, I do.
He's been
took almost 2 years off.
2 years off. I hope so.
I mean,
I think that's a degenerative condition. I think he's never going to be the same player again. At least not. Like, he can turn it on for a playoffs, but I don't think he can. I mean, he couldn't handle a regular season when he was on Toronto, and that was 4 years ago now? 3 years ago now?
Oh, he's not going to play the whole season.
Yeah. If he plays 60 to 65 games, that's a bonus.
Yeah. The question with the Clippers will always be injuries, because Paul George also missed half the year. So, yeah, that's always going to be the question with them.
So, guys, the question I have for you guys, are you excited from what you've seen from the NBA playoffs this year?
Not for Darvin Ham.
With the young guys coming up, like all these nice young guys coming up. Like, you guys just touched on LeBron, Paul George, Chris Paul. You guys just touched on these guys, but they're pretty irrelevant when it comes down to what we have witnessed to see the Golden State Warriors make it to where they are right now as the champions. And guys, we gotta hurry up because I gotta smoke the cigar.
Hey, Scott Barnes excites me.
No, I would jump over to answer that question. I would jump over to the other side, to the Celtics, because the Celtics, like, you want to talk about a young team on the rise. Like, yeah, the Celtics, they didn't show up in the finals, or they got run out of town by a team that was absolutely just knew how to win. But that's a young team on the rise. They'll be back next year. They'll be better. They will have the experience of losing in the finals next year, and I think they're going to be scary.
They need a point guard. Period.
King, I like your question about where is the league in good hands, basically, over the next few years.
Thank you. I'm going.
Yeah, with Luka, Jason Tatum. I know he lost tonight, but he's going to grow from this. He's going to get better, and so will Boston. Ja Morant, he's exciting to watch. He's box office.
Oh my God.
Scotty Barnes, Evan Mobley.
Yes.
I know I'm probably missing
Zion.
Giannis is still young.
Yeah, I mean, I think
there's still Giannis, there's still Embiid, there's still
Yes. And look, that group, look at all. This is a global league now. Most of the players that we said are even from the U.S. They're from all over the world. You got Embiid and Jokic and Jamal Murray, and the list goes on and on and on. I think the league is going to be in a really good spot for all these new stars coming.
Hey, I enjoyed the playoffs without LeBron. It was great.
So did I. And I love not watching, the ass adore for the Raptors. I enjoyed that too. Not seeing that. It was great to win the game.
Back to my point, I think Tatum, all the slander that Pascal Siakam got after he flamed out against the Celtics a couple years ago, he came back and he was a better player the next year, a better player the year after that. I think Tatum, he's going to get killed for this series. He's going to come back and he's going to be even better next year. And he was all NBA this year. So that's a scary thought for the league. And he's still 23, I think. 24, something like that.
24.
Remember one thing though, in this whole playoffs, Kevin Durant he had to go through, Giannis he had to go through, Jimmy Butler he had to go through. Maybe he just ran out of gas by the time the final showed up, and he just had nothing left. I don't want to make excuses for him. Not what I'm trying to do, but man, he had to go through 3 of the best players in the East.
Yeah, they got nothing from their bench too, so that didn't help.
No,
he vanished every second half, pretty much, except for the first game.
He didn't vanish. He was guarded by Wiggins, and this is the thing about Andrew Wiggins that I keep coming back to is this is how stacked this Warriors team is, right? Like Andrew Wiggins was supposed to be a superstar. Like he was a max player in Minnesota. He was supposed to be a superstar. He's supposed to be the number 2 guy on a contending team. That didn't work out. But it's amazing what happens when you take a guy who's supposed to be a number 2 and you turn him into quote unquote just a guy. Because when you're just a guy, suddenly that guy who failed as a superstar, you put him in that role a notch down. He's a star in that role, and he showed that in this series.
I.e. Pascal Siakam when Kawhi Leonard came to town.
Sure. I mean, that's not the example I'd go to, but I hear you.
Like, he's miscast as a number 1. We all know that. That's why we hope Scott Barnes will turn into Kawhi, and then Siakam will be a number 2 option and not number 1. So we'll see. We hope
something like that.
We know Scotty Barnes is going to be number 1 for the Raptors. What do you mean we hope? We know this. Everybody knows. The whole Raptors organization knows this. Okay, we all know this.
But it would be more like if Pascal went to another team as the 5th option.
Right.
If Pascal's the 5th option on another team, that's a terrifying team.
Yeah. It's like we were talking the other day about OG going to another team. But guys, it's been a great conversation. We're running out of time right here. Did you guys enjoy these NBA finals this year? Yes or no?
So happy for Steph Curry. That's all I want to say.
Me too. Coach?
He got the final piece.
I'm happy for Golden State because they didn't go out and just try to attract all the top free agents to come play with their friends. They built their team through the draft. Organic. Yep.
Skip?
I'm sad for my pick.
Because you made the wrong bet.
It's Boston, so whatever. Who cares?
Yeah, we all know how much you love Boston.
Congratulations, Steph. I mean, Canadian connection, the Raptors connection, it all comes full circle.
Do I have time to ask one question to everybody, Brian?
Real quick, you got 5 minutes.
Just a quick answer. Is Steph a top 10 player in NBA history now?
Yes.
Yes. I think.
Yes.
Not top 5, but he's in the
top 10.
Around the top 10.
Yes.
Tim?
Yes.
If I'm gonna say yes, but
okay.
maybe number 10.
Yeah, like number 10. Okay.
Yeah, maybe
9 or 10. Yeah, 9 or 10.
Yeah. We'd have to go down the list. Yeah.
Because he's 4-2 in the NBA Finals, and let's face it, the way the whole league is designed right now,
he changed the game.
Of him, right? He's a revolutionary player. Let's keep it at that. Guys, I'm so happy that Golden State won. I got a cigar and I got a bottle of Cavassier that I'm going to go knock off right now. because I'm happy and elated for myself, for you guys, especially you, Coach, with your prediction, because we're right. And that Boston thing about Aisha Curry can't cook. She's from Toronto, and she West Indian. Okay, believe me when I tell you, she could cook. Wow. Tim, you know this because of your wife, right? Reece, you already know this because of your wife. She could cook, fam. Right? So
yeah, I could cook a little Indian food myself, but let's move on.
You can't. No, West Indian food, man.
Oh God.
You can't.
I can cook lobsters.
Okay, nobody can cook like Curry. All right.
There we go. And on that note, thank you guys for watching this show. We hope you guys have enjoyed the NBA season, 2021-2022 NBA season. Even though your Raptors didn't make it, but we did get to watch somebody who did grow up in Toronto, whose wife is from Toronto. We did have somebody from Toronto win a ring within these last 6 games. They've been exciting. They've been enjoyable. They've kept me on my toes. I've been biting my nails. I've been yelling at my TV. My mom's been yelling at me for yelling at the TV. So I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I hope you, Coach. I hope you, Reece. I hope you, Skip, have all enjoyed it. So, guys, with all that said, on behalf of myself, the coach from the East Coast, Mr. Tim Roache, a.k.a. Mr. Nick Nurse's doppelganger, don't hop on the court and get burned. The mouth of the North, the one and only Andrew Reece from the Reece Report on Facebook. You guys make sure to go check him out. And then you got my man, Simon Brodeur at simonbrodeur.com, a.k.a. The Skip. You guys know what to do. Go down there, click subscribe. We really appreciate you guys. Shout out to our man Arturus for all his hard work he's been doing. So, on behalf of all of us, guys, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good night, and
peace.